the top three. Matt, who's on your podium? Top three defenders for 2025.
Number 3, Micah Parsons. Number 2, Myles Garrett. Number 1, Pat Surtain.
Woo! Love it. Charles, your top three.
I wish I could just put these guys all at one, but I went 3, Pat Surtain, 2, Myles Garrett, 1, Micah Parsons.
Oh, I had the exact same. 3, Pat Surtain, 2, Myles Garrett, 1, Micah Parsons. All right. Let's start with you, Matt. Why is Pat Surtain the second, PS2, your number 1 defender for 2025?
I mean, he's reigning defensive player of the year. That was cool.
Do I need to say more?
Yeah, right. Need I say more? But no, like playing cornerback is so hard. And this is something I've gotten an appreciation for, obviously, over the last 12 years. Like, these dudes I think they have the toughest job in the NFL, like covering these, especially nowadays, where number 1 receivers travel all over the place. Like, you just don't get a lot of guys like Pat Surtain, who tracks the number 1 wide receiver, who, maybe doesn't go into the slot all the time, but when he does, he can be just as, much of a force erasing player as he is on the outside. So I think he's to me the best corner in the league, and like there's a teardrop down. Like, I think as much as I love Stingley, we talked about him, like the rest of the guys there, whether it's Stingley or McDuffie or Gonzalez or Sauce Gardner, like I think that group just like in the order that I just had it there could rotate any year, and I just feel like Surtain cemented there at that top spot. And like, not to make this a point about Travis Hunter, but all throughout the draft process, you post clips of like, oh, look, here's Torrey Horton, a nice comeback route on Travis Hunter. Here's Kyle Williams getting a nice route on Travis Hunter, and Alec Iomanner, he had a good game against Travis Hunter. Whatever, every now and again you get some reply. Well, like, why do people love Travis Hunter as a corner prospect if every receiver in this class has like a good rep against him? Like, because playing cornerback is freaking hard, bro. But like you very rarely show like a good rep against somebody is Pat Surtain. Like, I mean, and if it is, it's a tough situation, or something like that. Like that's to me just why he was. I love Garrett, I love Parsons, but I felt pretty convicted with putting Surtain at number 1.
I think we all love Surtain. I think, did we all vote for him for Defensive Player of the Year, like on our award show?
I think so.
Yep. Yeah. I think he was like one of our few unanimous picks too,
which is crazy. Which is crazy because it was a crowded field this year. And again, it just speaks to what a good player this guy is.
And I pulled up some of those stats from that show too, because I remember the one stat that kind of is sticking out to me of like good corner play is yak allowed, because that means you're close to the guy that caught the ball and you can bring him down, or he's not even to get to that point. But even just looking at Surtain's stats, he only allowed 1.9 yards after the catch per reception, which was the best among all DBs last year, tied for 8th best since 2016. He allowed the lowest amount of yards per snap because he's never targeted. He's only targeted 10.9% of all snaps, which is lowest among outside corners. 0.6 yards per snap allowed. Lowest mark in Next Gen Stats database among all corners since 2016. The lowest. And he's on man, and the other guys that are near him, AJ Terrell in 2021, Chris Harris in 2016, Jalen Johnson in 2023, and Patrick Peterson in 2018. He's in man coverage on 40% of the snaps. Johnson's 21%. Patrick Pearson his year was 23%. Like, so this is locked down. This is what it looks like. This is Revis Island. This is what these dudes look like. Size. He's an unbelievable tackler. Only 1 missed tackle last year. 45 of 46 tackle attempts. Lowest missed tackle rate among any defender in the entire NFL. And he's a corner. So yeah, totally get why he's your number 1 guy. Charles, any more love for Patrick Surtain II, or do you want to move on to Micah Parsons, your number 1 pick?
I think Pat Surtain, like when you go back to draft season and you hear draft analysts and media people and coaches talking about how they stress like size and athleticism, like someone like Pat Surtain is, and the yak stat, like that's why, because we need to finish plays in the open field. We need to be big and strong enough to do that. And just looking back at his combine, it was honestly crazier than I remember. 6'2", 208, 1.57, 10 yard, 4'4", 140, 40-inch vertical, almost 11 feet on the broad jump. I mean,
how long is long arms too, right?
Yeah, long arms too, 32 and a half. So that's like offensive.
The ideal corner.
Yeah, it's literally the ideal
has
corner.
Pedigree and was coached by Nick Saban. Yeah, and he was the second corner selected. Figure that one out. JC Horn's a fine player, is a good player, but like still, even in that process, it was like, Don't overthink this. This guy's
so
going to be
clean.
a dude. But you had Micah Parsons at number 1. So did I. But why'd you have Parsons at 1? Maybe even go on to Myles Garrett. Maybe why'd you give him the nod over Myles Garrett too? I know it's hard. I mean, these guys are all unbelievable.
People have listened to the show have heard me say this a bunch, but after Micah came back from injury last year, dude, he was feral. Like absolutely feral. Like and for someone whose brain like his is always turned on, like it was insane to watch him go. Because clearly he wanted to get to the playoffs, even though that was basically out of reach by the time he got back. And every single snap, he was dedicating his entire life force to try and get a win for the Cowboys. And what that looks like is someone who is basically unblockable and has quarterbacks like running for their lives every single snap. The game against Cincinnati where him and Joe Burrow were going back and forth. But like the thing is, yeah, Micah can get in the backfield that many times to affect him. Yeah, and Joe survived. Like, you know, it was 2 heavyweight boxers going back and forth. But the fact that Micah had like 10 opportunities to sack Joe Burrow is something within itself. So I think this year, if he can pick up back where he left off, I think this could potentially be a career year for him. And I just don't think he really has any holes in his game. As an edge rusher. I mean, I don't think Pat Surtain has any holes in this game. I don't really think Myles Garrett has any holes in this game either. So that's why I said before, I wish I could have copped out and put them all at number 1. But just for the fervor that Micah showed last year and the desperation to win, I think it unlocked something really sinister in this game that I really enjoyed watching.
Sinister.
Dude, he was like crying, like yelling at his teammates after losses.
Yeah. Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was a one-man team.
Yeah.
He truly was. So after week 9, he led the league. He was tied for the league overall in pressure rate, 19.1%, according to Next Gen Stats. After week 10, when he came back from injury, after week 10, 19.5% pressure rate. He had 55 QB pressures. Second was Trey Hendrickson, also on my short list. Sorry, he didn't make the top 10, but had 46, 55 compared to 46. He had 11 sacks from week 10 to week 18. He had 11 sacks in one half of a season. I don't know if anyone needs to know this, but 11 times 2 is 22. So he basically on a 20 sack rate. He had 27 quick QB pressures in the second half of the season. He had 8 pressures when he was double teamed. Next highest was
so crazy.
Next highest was 4. Next highest was 4. Yep. Next highest was 4. All the other guys were defensive tackles. Double team pressures. He's a force of nature. So I totally agree with you, Charles, here. And on top of it, he's not the best run defender. It's more he's kind of can be boom bust, but the booms are gigantic booms. And the thing is, he doesn't get, and this is my difference with like a Nick Bosa and maybe with Micah, is Nick Bosa knows he's blocked in the run game. He just kind of goes, okay, okay, I'm going to wait for 3rd and 7 and we'll be okay. Micah gets blocked. He's like, no, this is not happening. He's like my toddler when I tell him no. He's like, no, this is no, you're not doing this to me. He's fighting it every which way. And I love, he plays with his hair on fire. He's like inspiring to watch. Like he inspires you to do better because he plays so hard and plays so fast. So he was my number 1 guy because he's just a force of nature. And that's crazy considering Myles Garrett is the other guy in this list. But maybe Myles Garrett love here too. Let's just continue this. Myles Garrett though, why was he make your top 3 pretty definitively and number 2 for me and Charles as well?
Well, first of all, just one last thing on Micah Parsons. Like anybody that criticizes him for being like online too much or like doing a podcast, like, well, is he really putting the work in? Like, I mean, yes. Shut the hell up. Like, watch him play for 2 seconds. Like he's somebody we're just like, yeah, the tape is your resume. Also, like if you ever watch him on any of these shows where he's like doing like draft analysis, he's like a complete football junkie. Like he knows all these guys and like real deal, like has obviously watched the tape, not just like opened up a stat sheet and has some platitudes about, a guy who's like big or something. Like he really knows these Like I remember like when Ricky Pearsall got drafted, he had like all these notes about Ricky Pearsall. It's like what? It's like some random University
Him
of
and
Florida.
Stroud. Him and Stroud are like
him and
legit
Stroud, too.
junkies on this stuff. I've seen
Yeah.
so many random clips of Stroud talking about like, random receivers. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what
Which
are
like you
watching all
don't
this?
have to be that guy to
Nope.
to be a great football player, and there's a lot of great football players who aren't that way. But again, just like if anybody ever questioned his like commitment to it because he tweets a lot or has a podcast, like give me a break. Myles Garrett, yeah, though, I mean, he's just the prototype. Like I feel like you'd want to put him high on this list if you just saw him in person. I mean, and if you haven't ever seen him in person, it is like a sight to behold. His biceps are like as big as my head, and I got a big ass head here. So yeah, like he's an unbelievable physical specimen. He takes over games. Again, he just really is like the prototype of this position. He's another guy that he's not like a net negative or even like I would say average against the run. Like he will hawk running backs down. He gives a ton of effort as well. So somebody that is built that way, has that type of athleticism, and then also plays with a lot of effort, I think is just, yeah, that's why he's probably a Hall of Famer someday.
Yeah. Garrett's cool to me in the sense that when he's like, I'm unblockable, it happens. Like it's like fourth quarter Myles Garrett is one of the greatest things you'll ever watch in sports. Anytime, it's really cool because he's a very intelligent guy as well. It's really cool to watch him know when he's about to get singled up and he's kind of like, oh, you guys are going to do this? All right. Like game over. Like he is the closer. Like he is, oh, doors open, you're single. It's like, he's different obviously, but Von Miller is like this as well. Okay, I know I'm getting chipped out here. This sucks. I'm getting chipped again. This sucks. Oh, there's no running back to my side. There's no tight end to my side. Done. Game over. Door shut. Sack. 2 seconds. Done. Play over. And I love that when the game, it's a true game wrecker. The offense to the other side of the ball made a mistake in their design or their execution, and the play's over. That's what Myles Garrett threatens to do every single snap. I mean, he pressure rate, good against the run, plays every snap, like all those types of things. It's like just so definitively a top player. Just want the rest of the team to get their together.
It'd be nice if he's in more of those like closing situations, right? Because you have got to wait. You got to wait a while to get to those moments. But hey, I also would not have the fortitude to turn down $40 million a year. I'm okay with what. Yeah, I'm okay with what happened here.
He can recruit whatever quarterback he wants, everyone that they draft. It's all good.